The thing is, it started long time ago when Coach Grant came to the national team. Yeah, he tried bringing me back to the national team. We had so many. We even met, I think, 2 or 3 times. But it wasn't. I didn't want to come to the national team. It was because I needed time to take care of myself because I had so many injuries and I wasn't in my best forms, and I wanted to come back to the national team with a good mind, with a good positive energy, and then be confident, because it got to a time even when at training I would train and then sit maybe for 2 or 3 days for treatment before I continue. Even it got to a time sometimes I will have the opportunity to play a game. After that game, I had to wait for maybe 3 or 4 days to start another training, which I'm going to mix the next games. Yeah. So with all those problems and then injury stuff, I needed time to feel more better before coming back to the national team. And when Coach Asamoah also came, he tried bringing me back to the national team. I said, Coach, it's not like I don't want to come. I want to, but the thing is, I want to play for my team, be confident, and then come back to the national team. It's not like because I've been in the national team for a very long time, because I'm Kwadwo Asamoah, I have to come and then play for my national team. I think the national team is to be players that are playing for their clubs, doing so well. It shouldn't be because I'm Kwadwo or I'm other player, I have to come in and then just play. I have to come in and then play and then know I'm doing well. So those were the main reasons why I was not coming to the national team. I spoke to him, I think a month and then almost 2 months before coming to Ghana. He tried bringing me to this summer friendly games, and I told him my situation, because I was living in Juventus, and that was the time I needed to at least arrange my things, try and then pack my things from Turin to a different club. So he also understood, and then he gave me that chance, because since this was a friendly game. So that was the reason why I couldn't join the team this summer for the friendly games. But I told him, I promised him I'll be with the team the next games that they will be playing. I had this injury called cartilage, which I never expected to stay for a very long time. I was expecting something like 5 to 6 months, but it took almost a year and a half. And even it got to a point I didn't even know what else to do, because I was training, I was doing everything just to come back to my normal form. But it wasn't up to, because every time and day I train, I feel these pains in my knee, and it got to a point I was getting better. And when I was getting better, that was when I also had a different injury that was minor, but it was just for a month, but it was something that made me cry, because I was wondering what was going on, because after staying home or maybe not being fit for almost a year and a half, and then now that I was feeling so better, another injury has just occurred. So what can I do? So I had to pray, I have to try and do everything just to come back. And even it got to a point, people were thinking maybe that was the end of my career. And then even some of my colleagues, they used to joke, they used to play with me, although they were not serious about that, but they used to say like, that's your end, you can't come back anymore. But I thank God I came back. I had a fantastic season, and then that's when people realized, like, okay, the person that we were criticizing, the person that we thought could not even come back on his feet, is even doing better than before. My best period in the national team
in the Ghana shirt
was when we went to Angola. That moment was so great because we went there with the team. No one was thinking Ghana could even from the group stages, people were not even thinking Ghana would qualify. But we did something that was just impossible. We went to the final with the youngest team at that moment, and I had a fantastic tournament. So it was just great for me at that moment, playing for the national team, presenting myself and the country.
People remember your performance against Mali. A lot of people think that was the best game they've ever seen you play. Remember the role you played?
Yeah.
That it was as a midfielder.
As a midfielder, at the same time as a playmaker, because I had the chance and opportunity to move on the field wherever I wanted to go. And it was just good for me. I had the confidence because sometimes, football, we have a lot of good and quality players in this world, but a coach can change a player because sometimes you need someone who should be there to push you all the time, even if you have the qualities. You have the ability. You need someone who who is there to push you all the time, to give you that encouragement, that confidence. And that moment was when Milo gave me all those things.
A lot of people have said stories about the number 10 jersey and about why you left it, including dreams and all that. Tell us the full story.
Yeah, I did tell them I don't want the number 10 shirt because the number 10 shirt at that moment, I was not the one who chose that number. I had my favorite numbers already. Yeah, I had number 20. I had that number because when I started my career in Europe, that was the number I used, and that was the same number that made me who I am today. Because I went to Udinese, I chose this number, and then I started playing, and that was when people got to know me. So I got in love with that just number. So when I came to the national team, I was playing with the number 20. And then I remember when we had the African Cup of Nations 28 here in Ghana, Apia told them to give me the number 10. Yeah. He told the team manager, and then there was one guy called Mr. Alex Asante. So they came with the jersey that they told me, Apia says we should give you the number 10. I was like, okay, well, I cannot say no because the captain himself says I should take the number 10.
What number was he wearing?
Apia. Yeah. He was using the number 10. At that moment, he was injured. He was not going to be part of the team. So he told them to give the number 10 to me. And I was thinking, why me? So I took the number because I couldn't say no to Apia. So I have to. So I did. I took the number 10 jersey and I was playing with the jersey for a very long time. And it got to a point I didn't have that feeling of wearing the jersey anymore. So I had to put it down and then put on my favorite jersey. That was when I asked for the number 20 again.
There was another theory that, and I'm sure my cameraman knows the story, that you had seen lions in your dream. You were dreaming, and when you were dreaming, you saw lions and...
Oh my God. Oh, Ghana.
Is it true that you were having some dreams and all that, and so you decided that no?
No way, because I've been hearing this story for a very long time. I don't know who the kind of person who brought up this story, because I never had any conversation with anyone that I'm having dreams of someone chasing me about Jesse. I don't know where that story came out from, but honestly, I'm making it clear I never had any dream like that. I just told them I don't want the jersey anymore. I want to change. I want to take back my number 20. So it wasn't like someone was chasing me because, no.
Are you ready to take the armband of the Black Stars?
Of course, because in everything there's time, and then there are moments when you cannot ignore things. You have to accept them when it comes. And there are times when people are forcing you to be there or giving you authorities or power, and you think you are not ready, you can tell them, I'm not ready. So if there's a time that comes and I have to be the captain, and I know I have to be, why not?
But at this moment, you can't say you are ready.
No, I'm ready to play for my national team.
Yeah.
We have a captain now. If there's a time that I will be the captain, who knows? So I can't say tomorrow I'm going to be the captain. I just pray to God to protect me and then give me more life and then energy to just build my career to a certain point, and then if anything happens, because captainship is not something that I'm willing to have at the moment, because something that I'm willing now to do for my country and myself is just win African Cup for my country, because it's something that I'm lacking in my achievements. So I really need this. It's not about captainship. Yeah.
You need the African Cup.
Yeah, I need it.
How bad do you need the African Cup?
So bad, because here in Africa we only have African Cup of Nations. Although we play the World Cup, that's the second thing that we play all over the world. But in Africa, when you talk about African Cup, Ghana, it's been a very long time that we won the African Cup. And this is something that I really need to add up to my achievements, because I've won a lot with my club in Italy. What about my nation? I haven't won anything. Although we've been to the finals 2 or 3 times and we couldn't win the cup. So this time around, I'm just coming in, do my best, and then to help my country achieve to achieve. Because when I went to Juventus, I was a midfielder. I wasn't a winger, but Conte changed my position, made me a different player, won different trophies, awards from that same position. So I think although I mix it playing in the midfield, but this role has also given me a lot of potentials, made people know about me, made people respect about me, because it's not only about midfield that I can play. I can also play from that position, and I think if I have the chance to play in the middle again, why not? But I'm okay with where I am now.
Are you a better midfielder than you are a better winger? When your wife watches you, when those who know you well watch you, what do they say, and what do you think? Do you think you're a better midfielder or a better winger?
Yeah, I'm a better midfielder. Although I'm able to play from the left wing, but I'm a better midfielder. Sometimes I mix a lot of things, because when I play in the middle, playing from the middle, there are a lot of things that I do. And even when I watch some of my playbacks from previous games, I mix them a lot, because from the wings you have not too much space, you have only the lines, but in the middle you have the chance of showing what you got. You can dribble, you can do everything in the middle when you have the chance.
Yeah. Take us back. Why did Conte change your position? Did he explain to you? Like, did he call you to explain why he was changing the position?
He didn't really. It wasn't like he wanted to change my position when I went to Juventus. I went to Juventus, we had preseason, I was playing from the middle. And there was a player called De Shelley, Paolo. No, not De Shelley, De Shelley. He was playing from the left wings. And Juventus was playing, we were playing 3 back. And then we had 3 midfielders and the wingers and then 2 strikers. and I was playing from the midfield left. So it got to a point, he was the only one playing from that left wing, and he had so many injuries at that moment. So he came up to me and he told me, Asa, I want to try you on this position because we only have Paulo, but at the moment he's not fit, and we have about I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks to play against Napoli, which is our Super Cup, but we don't have any player at the moment. I would like to try you at that position and see. So we started from training, and then in 2 or 3 days we had a friendly game. I don't remember the team, but it was a German side. We played against them, and I played so well. And then we had another game the next 3 days against I think Malaga, and I did fantastic. So from there we traveled straight to China.
It was in 2012.
Yeah, when we played against Napoli Supercoppa, and that was my first official game for Juventus. And we won the cup, and that was my first trophy. That was a Supercoppa for Juventus. So I think that position also has brought me a lot of things. And 2013, 2014, I was one of the best 11 players at that season. Yeah. I even received an award.
Team of the season.
Yeah, team of the season. So from that position to, I think I've quite learned a lot from that.
Right.
Maybe I'll also try and see if I can have the opportunity to play again from the midfield.
Tell us a bit about Antonio Conte. What kind of coach is he like?
He's, I think he's very aggressive, and he never gives up. Even if we are winning every day, even when the season is over and we are champions, he never gives up.
Tell us that story.
Because there was a time when I think my second year with him, no, my third year with him, we won the we won the Scudetto, and we had, I think, 6 or 7 games left, where I think in all the world, when the team wins, that's when they start to, they slow down our training. Sometimes you might even have 4 or 5 days off, and then, but this man never gave up. We were training almost every time. He never gave up. We were always winning all the games left because he wanted us to reach a point that has never been made in Italy. So he's one of the coaches, either good or bad situations, he never gives up.
Now, we know him to be a disciplinarian.
Yeah.
You know, what stories, before he came to be the coach for Juventus, what stories did you hear about him, his playing days?
Those days, there were people, like there are still people who played with him whilst he was playing, and even some friends, and they will tell you a story about him. They will be like, Conte never gives up. Even at his time when he was playing, at the time the team will have even days off, he will go to the training grounds and still work out. So I think it's the same thing that he has brought to his coaching times now, because Juventus, when he was there, every single training was just, you have to give everything, because there were times even when we do like physical trainings, cardio, and a player complains about maybe stomach or maybe pains, okay, you will go out, but the next day we have to train, for the next day. The next day you will join the team, you will train normal, but if you left, maybe we had 4 sections and you left around maybe 2, the left 2 you will do it the next day. So
you pay for that.
Yeah, you will pay for it. So it's not like you complain about your stomach or your knee or whatever just to skip the two cardios. You have to continue.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
How different was he then from Allegri? Philosophy.
Yeah.
Guys, how different was Conte, or is he different from Allegri?
I think Allegri is also a good coach, but he has his own ways of coaching, his own ways of communicating with the players, and Conte also had his own ways.
Tell us about.
Because with Conte, he never cares about who you are, the achievement that you've won, because he always believes if you won last year, it doesn't count anymore. So he is willing to win all the time. So even if at that moment we won 2 trophies already, or maybe 3 already, he never counts that trophy. He always look forward. He always think about positive, like always think about what is going to happen. So if you're a senior player or a junior player in the team, he wishes you to do whatever he wants or what he tells you to do. You don't go on the field and do whatever that you want. He will tell you in the face, in front of everyone. And it's not like he will be like, okay, you are a senior player, so I will just keep it, I will keep it and then talk to you later. He will just let you know you made a mistake here.
Allegri is not like that.
And yeah, Allegri is quite different. Sometimes he protects some of the senior players, and then if you are a junior player, he tells you in front of them. But Conte wasn't like that. He will tell you in front of any other player, either you are young or old.
Based on what you've said, are you surprised? So I'm sure you were not surprised when you saw that at Chelsea he was having some of these problems with some of the players. I'm sure you were not surprised.
No, I wasn't. Because he's one of the coaches, if he tells you to do something and you challenge him, he will just take you out. He don't care about the players that you have. If you got a player with maybe less qualities and he's doing what he wants, he will put that player on the field.
So, Inter Milan approached you. Tell us the story of when you decided to leave Juventus.
I think a month or maybe a month and a half to finish the season. That was when I decided to leave the club, because it was so difficult for me to have that decision. Leaving Juventus after 6 years with great achievements, and the relationship I had with the team, with the fans and everyone, I couldn't just tell them I'm leaving. It was so difficult for me. It even got to a point, even when I go to bed, I couldn't even sleep. I had to think about all those things. It was so difficult for me, but I had to look also to the future of my family and then make that decision, and also to my career, because things wasn't the same the first 3 years when I went to Juventus. I had some struggles and then difficulties, and I had to come back. So I needed some changes and then pick up a new challenge for myself and for my family. As a new player, as a new home, a new family, I want to do my best at all times, because they spoke to me about their project, and I'm happy to be part of the team, because they are a team that is trying to win the league. They're building a very good team. They are also back in the Champions League. So I'm just happy to be with the team now, to put out my best to help the team.
Before the decision was made, you said it's you considered leaving Juventus about a month to the end of the season.
Yeah.
So if you can walk us through, was it then that you told your agent about it, that you would like to move, so he should start working, or he told you that there's interest and then you said okay? How did it work out?
Well, the thing was, I think from the beginning of the season, that was when some teams came, and then Juventus ignored all their proposals, and I think most of them stopped on their way. But Galatasaray was one of the teams that never gave up. They were just pushing from the beginning, even from the middle, all the time, sending me messages, giving talking to Juventus just to release me to them. It even got to a point I almost went there, but Juventus didn't allow that because they wanted me at that moment.
Sure.
So I had to stay. So I was there, and then till January, I thought, okay, Juventus will come to me with a different offer because I wanted to stay. It was difficult for me to leave. So I was just waiting for them, and I waited, and they were not coming to me because the contract that they wanted to give me, they wanted to give to me, wasn't the best. So I had to tell them no, because I can't take that offer. I have to wait and then see. So they were there waiting for me to tell them yes, and I was also waiting for them. So it got to a point where some teams came up, and it was almost 2 or 3 months to the season. I never signed any contract. I never did anything with any other club. I was still waiting for Juventus. Most of the times when players got to that stage, they normally sign for clubs because after 6 months, or maybe when you have 6 months more to finish and then go as a free player, you might not know what might happen. Maybe during training, or maybe games you might get hurt, or maybe injuries. And that one, you might not even get a team. You might go home without any other team. I took all those risks just to wait for Juventus, and they were still there waiting for me. Yeah. And it got to a point, these teams started coming, approaching me with good offers, with a lot of determination. Like you could feel, okay, they were so serious about me. And I was not giving them the chance. I told my agent, just wait, they should wait. I will think about it. By the time Juventus made their mind of giving me everything that I want or make me stay, it was just too late for me. Because I felt if you really want me, you wouldn't wait till that long. So I had to let everything go and then move on. At least I've done my best for the past 6 years. I was humble to everyone. I was disciplined. I never had any problems with any player or any coach or any fan. So I think it was time for me just to leave and then move on and then think about my career.